Hello. It's not showing in here. Got it. Okay, I think it's showing now. Cool. So I have a code here. It's something that will one day probably be Pacman, Pacman clone. And I have this main function called Gamedev, where I do some very basic logic, and I want to do a clear screen. And this doesn't work. So I will try to debug why not in this session. I have my coffee. It's an espresso actually, and I'm more or less ready to go. This is not gonna be easy. So what I did, I have this graphics API thing here, and I'm passing, there's a function pointer called clear screen in there, which points to a function in glgraphics.h, and it's called gl clear screen, which is just filling out the rect. So this one calls fill rect, right? And the GL fill rect is in here. So we have a, it's using the program ID. It sets the uniform form for F. It sets the color. These are colors. So these the colors that I pass in are in 24 bits, 8 bits per channel. I do not have alpha channel, and I do not plan to have alpha channel anymore soon. And then I said that I passed in the projection matrix, and I bind the vertex array, and then I draw array. So this should also bind. Then I use, okay, I unbind the array and use and unbind the program. This should also the bind array. Where do I define it? It's here, right? So it's glgen vertex arrays, right? Bind vertex array, again buffers, bind buffers. So that will also automatically connect it with vertex array. Buffer data. The vertices are like here, so these are just 6 vertices that I need to draw a triangle, quad, sorry. I set the pointer, so we have layout location 0, 2, 2 floats. It's not normalized unit length. The size of the single vertex, right, is 2 times the size of float. Let me see, maybe I missed something in this function gl vertex attribute pointer. Looks, let's see, so that's the definition. Vertex attribute pointer, yeah, this is an offset, right? Come on, Bing, stop being boring. So this is the pointer. So index, size, number of components, actually, type of the component, is it normalized or not, the stride, and the pointer. Okay, this is offset, so I don't have, that looks fine. fill rect clear screen. Function pointers are here. Now, what could be the problem? I may have actually. Yeah, I didn't call GL viewport anywhere, right? GL viewport. No, I don't call it. So let's do that after init GL graphics. I'll just call it. I'm in the wrong file. So inventory is the two Beckman. GL viewport, right? No. And then there's a call to init GL. Initialize. So I'm using full names now. So here's the deal. I have 320 by 240 surface drawing on that. So this is defined by this screen width and height. But my actual application is 1920 by 1080. Okay, so 1080. So I need to, it's frame buffer. So I need to calculate. Let's see what artificial intelligence is saying. So they're saying I should calculate a factor or a scaling factor. I think it's gonna fit by 8, but it will not fit the entire width. So I should probably calculate scale is, I think my win width something, right? Window width window height like this, and then I can calculate like viewport width. Let me I mean actually do some calculation, right? No, don't write this in comments. Replace. So I think it's, is this good name? Scale. It's too generic. Scale what? Scale viewport rect scale viewport scale. Okay, and then I can say viewport height is just the window height, right? Should I use window height? Oh, it should be a frame buffer height. Okay, let's do that, and surface width times viewport scale. Yeah, that's it. I know it's gonna fit. Like I'm using 4x3, and my screen is 16/10. I think it's 16/10, or is it 16/9? I'm not sure. So we should. So I'll just leave it like that now, so we can see if this will work. And there's an offset, right? But maybe I will not do the offset yet. So GL viewport is gonna be. I'm just gonna leave it on 0, 0, and I'll say. So it should be on the left side of my main screen. Okay. Let's write this down and compile. So I'm using makefiles. Oh, so what's the surface height undeclared first? Viewport window height versus the screen. Screen height. Is this used many times? Change large screen height. Okay. There's no surface width also, it's screen. To have. Let's see if this will work. Screen height undeclared. It's GFX screen height. Yeah, it was completely wrong. GFX screen width. And I also need to convert this to floats. No, good thing I have errors here. GFX screen height. Let's cast it to float, so I get float stuff right back. So I can get float stuff, yes. Viewport width. Screen width. It's again float, right? But it's GFX screen width times viewport scale. Yeah, maybe this will work now. I seriously doubt it. Yeah, it doesn't work. So this is my instruction sheet for GDB debugger. I will use GDB debugger here. I want to learn stuff, and I'm kind of bored of all these nice and fancy tools like Visual Studio or CLI. So I basically am gonna torture myself by using GDB. So should I do it? Let's see, maybe this will kind of work. This thingy here, CLS, and then GDB, what is it, debug bin, debug bin, yeah, debug bin, pacman. Text, oh, look at this, look at this interface. So I think if I type in list, I get my, oh, what? What is this? What part of code do I see now? It's in the tick, right? If game state sound is playing. How does he know that? If I can put a start, right? Temporary breakpoint. List. Yeah. Okay. But I want to break in game tick, right? Break game tick. Then continue. Okay? Okay. Now I can write local variables, which is fine. Can I print GFX? List. Do I have GFX dot what's the name? Screen width. It's Yes. And screen height. Yes. I want to put a breakpoint on line 156 and step in. How can I do breakpoint on line number? What's that? GDB break line number. Do I need to pass in? Maybe I can just break 156. Yeah. Continue. Hit breakpoint. Where am I now? GFX clear screen. In here, list. Okay. Wait a minute, where am I now? So my so where am I? How can I find out? Is frame BT is backtrace, right? So I am in deal screen, clear screen. Can I get like a nice output of color? Or color like this? Oh, yes, I can. Very nice. This is actually not so bad. So let me just quickly go over here into the file. It's GL graphics, right? And it's line 196. Yes, okay. Okay, so he is now on field rect. Okay, I understand. So again, if I type list, how do I get the line where I'm currently on? Info B, delete N, C, continue, B point, shell command, info local, no locals, that's frame. Okay, step into them. So now I am in field rect, yeah. And if I type frame, I will get use program. And let's see if there's anything in local. Red, green, blue. Green. They're not initialized yet, right? What do I have in GL? Can I call the graphics? Cool. GL graphics, feel, cool. Program. ID. It's one. Cool. So I can press next now. So the next line is this uniform. Let's see this. It should be. It's not program ID. It's okay. Can I do this print graphics just like that? Okay, yeah, I can. Cool. Thing there is so slow. I'm watching live streaming on my other screen, so the stream that I'm doing from here, and it's very laggy. Let me check that actually. Yeah, it's kind of at least. Let me see if I can move it here all the way here. Yeah, okay, it's not better. Okay, so I can get all this stuffy, and let's see if the program is 1, vertex buffer ID is 1, vertex array ID is 1, projection matrix location is 0, rect definition uniform location is 0. That doesn't seem right. It should be. It should not be zeros. They should not be zeros, right? Because yeah, they should not be zeros. So that's my bug, right? There should be something like 1, 2, 3. That's most likely because I don't actually set them. Yep. Stop. How do I stop the program? GDB stop the program. First I load my exit, then I continue to run the program. Sometimes want to interrupt, so I do Control C. My problem is that this closes both my program and GDB. Yes, but after use Control C, then run signal seek int. Control break. Enter Windows. Yeah, and let's try. What will happen if I do Control break? Control break. What's the break button anymore? Was that not pause? I should try Control C. No, it doesn't. I can kill it, right? Kill. Yes. And quit. Cool. Okay, so the problem is this, right? So I didn't set the uniform locations and stuff like that. So where is this? Projection, but he can find them here. I do set them, right? Why are they all zeros? Shouldn't be all zeros. So this one compiles and links the program. There's no way they will be all zeros, right? Project, yeah. Look, I'm always setting the projection matrix uniform location. So I should not set this change. So it's a rect definition, uniform location. That's correct. AI, thank you. And this one is color. Uniform location. Oh, this was not given by AI. Okay. Okay. So now, ladies and gentlemen, this. Why not make file debug? Why is he saying that this is not? I see, I know why. So I need to put headers right in here. Headers. Something like this. So they need to depend, right? Headers. Yes, thank you, AI. And then this needs to be. So all file is also depending, object file is also depending on headers, right? Let's see now. Yes, now it will. Let me see what he did. Entity to Pac-Man. Just a second. So that's the first line, right? We better have this debug and so on. It's this line here. And it's compiling output, and this is the input. But in the input, I'm specifying only the first files. Now, if I change something in, let's say, GL graphics, like I will, where's the shader definition? Somewhere up there. This direction. I'm still trying to get used to my, can just like add a space here somewhere or something like that. Switch back here. Yeah, he's now recompiling it, which is great. Okay, let me just remove that. Save. Cool. Let's again go here, make file debug. Nothing to be done for all, but didn't I didn't save it. So it's saved. It should be saved, my friends. Save it now. Here, make file debug. Yes, now he saved it. And now, moment of truth. Bin debug. Now, so it's debug bin. Look at this beautiful black screen. Okay, something has I don't have any profiling yet, so to be able to figure this out, but yeah, average frame rate was 60, right? So average frame duration was 16.65 seconds. Yeah, let me show you something. So I remember if anybody will watch this. So if I go to the main command line in here and the main function, here it is, and there's a sleep call in there, right? So this is how I am, adjusting the frame rate of the game so that it the game time step will be same. Will be 16.6 milliseconds, which is basically what is my desired frequency, right? So there's a frequency somewhere, game update frequencies, so that's here, right? So it's 60 hertz, okay, 60 times per second, and the time step, game time step, is calculated based on that, like this. You see, so that's the target frame delta, and this is probably bad name, so I'll rename that to change. So let's put change word game time step. Okay, and let's just yeah. So anyway, the main code happens here, right? So we pull the events from glfw, glfv, I don't know how to pronounce that. We update the inputs, right? So there's a structure that contains all the key states. Then we start kind of clearing the entire buffer. We set the game state, frame number, and time step to this. And we call the take method, which will do some rendering in itself, right? So there's no special render function. And you must be aware I'm coming from object-oriented. So like I will maybe say method. I just noticed that I said method a minute ago. And we have this, the game tick can, the game tick function can set this short quit, and we will then close set instruction to glfw to close the window on the next iteration, right? So he will not repeat this after. And we have slow buffers. So these things, right, all the way from the beginning of loop all the way down, takes some time, and this time is in this frame delta time, right here. This is where I say I store that time, and this time it will be really bad if this is larger than the time step, because then you have, so I will advance entire game logic by this specific time step that I have selected, 16 milliseconds. And if my actual code is much faster than that, which it will be, then we need to sleep so that the game does not so that the game will not be extremely fast, right? Because if you have time step 16 milliseconds, but you're executing each 2 or 3 milliseconds, then the game will be extremely sped up, right? But so that's why we are adding sleep in here. But it could happen because of event processing. For example, glfv, he is blocking when you're moving or resizing window, right? So this function will block then. It can happen. Let me show you that we will have much longer. So the frame delta tab will be larger than game time step. If this happens frequently, that means that your game logic to code is too slow, which will not happen in this simple game. So this is just Pac-Man, right? But I intend to keep this engine for some time until we can't make fast games anymore with it. So yeah, if that happens, right, then your game will slow down. Right? It will be slower. Right? The characters on screen, entities, everything, they will move slower, right? So this is not something that we want. Let me show you what will happen, right, if I like moving a window here, you see? So I'm gonna move it now. Oh, it's not happening. It is, you see. 5 seconds, because this was the time I was moving the screen. So right, I didn't stop moving it. I'm still pressing the button and moving it around. And this is what's happening, you see? 12 seconds, look at this. And when I'm resizing it, it will happen again. Look, you see? So, we need to recalculate when we resize frame buffers. That's also something that I need to do. Obviously, I need to center it in the center of the screen. It doesn't make any sense to look like this, right? But let's do that. Actually. So where was that logic? Where was that logic? That logic was somewhere. Here it is, right? So I would like to make this a math function. I will call this. How will I call this? What did I change? And anyway, I'll save it now. So stretch, scale in target direct, scale within bounds, scale to bounds, keep aspect ratio. Well, let's see. So that's the naming is the most difficult thing, especially for me. I'm not a native speaker. So what will it be? It's gonna be void scale rect to bounds. Don't have any rects. We'll have so it's int. Is it int? It's float. It's rect with a debugger. Float rect here, and then we have float bound with a debugger. The float bound height and float out with a debugger. Let's make this typo. This is from my C++. This out with a and out height. Okay, so let's use the AI if he wants to recommend this to me. And let me be something like this, right? Let's add this documentation. Let's see what will happen if I do it like this. Okay, it won't break it too much. Let's do it like this. So what does this function do? Scales a rectangle to fit inside another rectangle. Keeps the aspect ratio, right? Keeps the aspect ratio. I think that maybe we probably don't need to say that, but yeah, I am gonna say it. So the function, let's yank it again and paste it in here. X. I could make it static inline, but why? Or I could even make it a define. Okay, so first we will calculate. I'm gonna use first on scale. Epsilon is rect. Yeah, round height over rect height, that's fine. Just let me reformat this. I don't like this like this. Okay. And now if let me do it automatically to outwit, so I don't like I can multiply rect with a times scale epsilon. But if rect with the h, if out with the h, yeah, that's it. That's the AI talking now. I think he got it right. So if out with is greater than bound with then we will use scale on x, right? So if let's say I'm talking now about when I'm scaling smaller rectangle to larger rectangle, right? So if I have 320 by 240 and I have 1920 by 1980 as my target, I will scale up on the height and I will get the scaling factor like I did here to divide it, right? Then I calculate the outwith and if this is smaller or equal, then my output height is correct as well, right? So I didn't, my inner rectangle, smaller one, did not go out of the bounds of the larger rectangle. But if that's not the case, then I can only, so that would mean, how should I express this? Then I can only do, I will try to do it on x, right? So there's no other solution then. So I can't fit it on y-axis, but I can fit it then on x-axis. So I'm dividing bound width with the rect width to get the scaling factor, and I don't even need to check anything. I can immediately get the thing working proper. Okay? That's the idea. Okay, how long? It's 45 minutes already. Cool. And then I will use that function here. So, it's gonna be before viewport and function name is scale. What was the function name? Jesus Christ. Function name was scale rect to bounds. Okay. bounds, and what was it? Rect width, rect height, bound width, bound height. Cool. So my rect width is GFX screen width. Screen height whisper. And then GFX screen height, and then my target is let's do I call anywhere glfw get frame buffer size? I don't, right? No. So dd let me do this frame buffer size. So I need to do that. So int gonna be frame buffer width and frame buffer 8. Okay, thank you. And then that's my bound, right? Frame buffer width. And so it's frame buffer. Okay, stupid auto completion width. Frame buffer height. And my target is, and now I need to be careful because this needs to be float now. It's gonna be float, viewport, port height. Yes, okay. I need to probably convert it to int in here. This. Okay. And let's just see if this will work, and then I can yes, it does work, but now I can I need to center it. So I need to center it. I'll do that in my next stream. I've got my guests down there. And let's see. Implement clear screen. Clear screen working. That's a big step. Clear screen working. Okay, let's do it. Implement screen. I don't have like strict policy how I need to name my commits. I always have problems with that. Git push origin master. Okay, and now I'll just add continue scale direct, move direct, left or right, add padding code. Start center this, center screen is centered. Is centered, and that's it. That's it for today. I mean, not for today, for this stream. Need to get some break. We'll be back. Okay, actually, can I just like put it on pause or something? I can't. I will just end it now then. Bye everyone.